The 931st edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 931 of the MMA Gambling Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to JA, who's quite active in our Discord. Thanks for coming to the show. I'm one of your hosts, the Spicy Pimp, Jeff Fox. That is Daniel Gumby Vreeland. This is it. Sad week. Very last week of Contender Series. Week 10 is coming up. Maybe before we dive into that, we got 6 fights, though. So that's a bonus. We got a bonus fight here. Maybe recap the last week. You went 3-2. Did you have any dogs?
I had one underdog. Díaz in the second fight wound up being an underdog.
You made money.
Now we actually wound up short money just a little bit. I think we were down 0.2 units.
Really?
Yeah, just a couple big favorites in there. You know, Fernandez, I think we locked him in at negative 750, ballooned up to like negative 1300. Man, that guy, what were they doing?
Why was he on the show? Like, there's only like
100
like
spots.
what 100 fighters
102 this year because we got 1 6-fight card.
Yeah. Why did that guy get?
I don't know. Maybe Dana really liked the ring card girl in the video, but I don't.
Oh yeah, check that. Yeah, check that video. People in our Discord.
Yeah, Venezi really likes it. I was told. So. Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, yeah, no. So, you know, down 0.2 units. I did run the numbers because I thought you were going to ask me about Contender Series for the year, and we're up almost 5 units on the year. Gives you about half a unit victory on every single one. So, you know, maybe not the success we've had in past years, but in the black nevertheless.
Exactly. That is the important thing. Anyone who's got the brightest future from last week?
I mean, Martinetti and Volodkin. I mean, I'm excited to see both those guys fight. I do like Luke Fernandez. Didn't get to see much of him, but you know, I'd already liked him from CFFC.
Yeah.
So you know, probably those guys.
Yeah. All right. Thoughts on this coming week's or show that we're going to be doing in a couple minutes?
Weird that we're seeing a couple of guys get their second shots. One off a win, one off a loss, one from this year, one from last year, 2 years ago. You know, so a couple of rematch guys in there. A couple of guys who, when I saw their name on there, got like a little hyped because we had already broken down some fights from them already. So familiar names, you know, dotting the card to close things out.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's dive in because we do have 6 fights. Reminder, get our app if you haven't already. Download the SGPN app in your app store for easy access, free access. That's the important part. Free access to all of SGPN's picks and podcasts.
Oh, I forgot to mention too.
We're going back,
you know, because you're a former college basketball player. Did you know we have a basketball fight in this one?
Really? Like 2 basketball players?
I'll have to explain it to you when it comes up. So just you know, stash that away for later. And when it comes up, I'll tell you.
All right. Contender Series Week 10. Back to the Apex one more time, October the 14th, Tuesday, 8 p.m. 6 fights. Oh, you should say 5. We're at 6 this week. They were getting us a bonus fight. We're going to kick things off with middleweights. Mario Mingaj, is that how you say it? Mingaj? Is it Mingaj?
I think it's Mingaj.
Like Nicki Minaj?
I think it's Mingaj. Because isn't the J in most like Northern European languages an I sound? Although he's Italian, right?
He is. We always say things Italian too.
Mingaj.
Let me see. How does it say? No, my I'm trying to see.
I don't think it's an Italian name. So that's I think the tricky part here.
Mingaj is how they're thinking it, but they don't even recognize the last name. So this guy's fake. I think he's fake. Anyhow, Mario M versus Wes Schultz, who does not go by Wes. So we know his real name. His name is Party Time. Party Time Schultz. 7-2, 2 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 0-1 in the Contender Series because he lost to
double leak.
Yes, that was 2 seasons ago,
2
right?
seasons ago, if not like the very first fight of the last season.
Yeah. Schultz won 4 out of 5. He won his last bout via submission. He also went 4-1 in LFA. He's fought at light heavyweight and heavyweight. Mingaj, 7-0, 1 knockout, 5 submissions, 3 straight wins via submission. He's 2-0 in cage warrior, so he's fought at a pretty high level as well. He used to fight at light heavyweight, also 2 inches taller than Schultz.
So Cage Warriors, bunch of finishes, undefeated record. I think you're going to see Mingaj come in here as a favorite. We'll say like, negative 175, like a plus 150 on Wes Schultz. I'm going to go party time. I'm going to take an underdog straight out the gate, or at least what I assume will be an underdog straight out the gate in Schultz. The big reason why is like, I know people are writing Schultz off after getting like brutalized by Mansour Abdulmalik, but like, lest we forget that like he had moments in that fight where like he was wrestling Mansour Abdulmalik, or where like he hit Mansour Abdulmalik a couple of times on the feet and walking up, and like we now know that that's not very easy to do. Mansour Abdulmalik is undefeated, granted with a draw against high IQ Cody Brundage, but like he's put a really great resume together, and like Wes Schultz maybe has given him one of his best fights in his career at this point. So, like I really love that about Wes Schultz. And when I looked at the film on Mingaj, like the bottom line is like this is a dude who's long, lanky, and his only real use for it seems to be throwing up triangles off of his back. He's a guy who I think relies on being taken down to fight. He's not particularly sharp with his striking, in my opinion. He himself doesn't wrestle very much. I think Wes Schultz kind of has the option here. Like he could keep this standing and probably just like crowd him and hit him. I think he could take him down and just stay safe on the takedown attempts and, stay out. As long as he stays out of a triangle, I think he probably wins this fight. So I'm going to say that he can do that. And I'm going to take Wes Schultz here.
All right. Party time, hopefully on Tuesday night. All right. Azamat Nuftillaev from Uzbekistan versus Jovan Leka from Serbia is our next fight. And they're big boys, heavyweights, 3 or 5 minute rounds, 265. Leka, 10-2, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. He's won 3 straight, 2 straight via TKO. He used to fight down at light heavyweight. Based on the last weigh-ins, he was 23 pounds heavier than Nuftillaev, 4 inches taller, 4-inch reach advantage. Nuftillaev is Dragon, 17-1-1. 11 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's won 5 straight, all via finish. He's not lost since September 2022. He has multiple regional championships on his. Correct. Get our shirt, get our merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. And he used to fight at light heavyweight as well.
So this one, I think we're going to get a tremendous value on Jovan Leka. If you watch film on these guys and just try to handicap this straight up, this should be like a, I would probably say pick him or maybe like Leka slight favorite. And I think he's going to be like a 3-1 underdog here. You get the fun last name with ending in an EV for Azamat, Nuftillaev, and like he does wrestle, which is what you want from a Eastern European fighter like Nuftillaev. But like, I don't really love the way he blends his wrestling with his striking. Like he's a low hand striking guy, but it's not like he's light on his feet, so he keeps his hands low. It's just like, I think that's where his hands know how to go. And it's like, you can tell when grappling mode has been engaged and he's going to start grappling and stop striking. And I watched the film on Leka. I got to say, I'm really impressed by his like technical striking, not because he's like an amazing technical striker, but because he's a heavyweight and I can say the words technical striking. He moves really, really well for a dude of his size. He scrambles particularly well. Like he's good at grabbing like a whizzer and making sure that takedown didn't work, scrambling up to the feet. And I think that plays extra well against Nuftillaev because I watched Nuftillaev's fight with, I'm forgetting his first name, Rafael Batista. It's a Batista, I know for sure. And he takes that guy down and he winds up in guard and like, there's just no guard passing. Now, granted, he does TKO the big fat guy from guard, which like, props to him for that. But like no effort to get past guard. And against the guy who gets back to his feet well in Leka, I think that's a problem. I think Leka's cardio is going to be better. I think he can like kind of style on him on the feet. And I think the way he digs underhooks and uses whizzers and stuff like that, I think keeps him safe here. So I think Jovan Leka is kind of like going to be a sneaky big underdog here that I think should probably have tons of value on him.
All right. I like to hear that. 17%
yeah.
on Topology.
Okay, so maybe not all the way up to 300. That's enough people who it might be like 275.
All right. We'll take it regardless. All right. Before we get you more winning plays, we are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. They will have Contender Series lines there. And when you do head to mybookie.ag, sign up with their promo code MMA SGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. So it's mybookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN. And Novig, Novig, all one word. We're brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports production market. Novig, you're getting the best prices. Plus, they have reduced juice on bets like -103, for instance, instead of big, juicy plays where you're paying a whole bunch of vig. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right, we're going down now to welterweights. Michael Oliveira from Brazil. Victor Valenzuela. He is from Chile. 3 5-minute rounds. Break her down. Valenzuela. Psychosis. So he used to be the wrestler in WCW.
What you mean in
really
ECW.
Well by now. Yes, Psycho. He was in ECW as well. Yeah, you like Psychosis?
Yeah, he was part of the Mexicools, right?
Yeah. He was. Yes, he was. This is a different one, I think. Valenzuela is 12-3, 6 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 6-0 over his last 6, obviously 7-1 over his last 8. 5 straight wins via finish. Last loss fight July 2021. 1-0 in LFA. Used to fight at 180. 2013 Pro MMA debut. Oliveira, PQD is a nickname, which is the Paratrooper Brigade in Brazil. So maybe he's a paratrooper. I assume he must be then. He's 8-0 with 7 knockouts. 6-0 in LFA. 4 years younger than Valenzuela. 3 inches
Was Psychosis the Mexico who got arrested? Who's like, I feel like one of the Mexican. I feel like one of.
I don't think I was watching.
No. I mean, like after they stopped being like famous. Like I think one of them got arrested with like some pretty serious charges.
Psychosis. He always was the coolest.
Yeah, he had the fun mask.
Yeah, and then they, of course, WCW, they made him take off the mask, which is stupid. Let me
this
see.
Is not what they came here for, but
he had a gun, but it was a water gun.
Okay, so I think one of them got.
So he might have stolen a car with a water gun.
I think that's a shtick. You're looking up the wrong stuff.
That's nothing for
I think one of them got in some real trouble for something, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna take Michael Oliveira on that note. My guess, negative 350, maybe even higher than that. Wouldn't be surprised if he got to like 500 by fight time. This is a guy from LFA who comes with immense amounts of power. When he threw a leg kick in one of his LFA fights on the very first strike, and the dude just like looked up and had like a look on his face like, oh my goodness, that's what is coming the other way. And that's just like the power he generates in all of his strikes, like whether it's hooks or, straights or jabs or, leg kicks or kicks to the body, like he just generates so much power. Now, I do think he is probably in for a rude awakening when people start to move out of the way of those strikes or, start to counter him because his head movement's not great. But Valenzuela is a guy who's been dropped by people who hit way less hard than Oliveira. You go back to, it's either his last fight or 2 fights ago. He fought Bruce Whitehead. I like Bruce Whitehead. He's like kind of like a fun regional journey. Maybe is he? Yeah, I'll say journeyman without it being derogatory. But like, no. It means you've carved out a nice career. But Whitehead dropped him, and I think Whitehead is more of a grinder. He went in there, popped him once, dropped him real hard, and I'm like, man, if Whitehead's putting you down, like Oliveira is gonna murder this guy. So, it doesn't even really need much more of a breakdown than that. This is a guy who has shown like a crack in his chin a little bit, and he is fighting a guy who will expose that crack with TNT. So give me Michael Oliveira.
Very, very nice. All right. Oliveira is the pick. We're moving on up the card. Marwan Rahiki, he is from Australia. Yes, he is from Australia, not New Zealand. Ananias Mulumba, he is from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Well, we're getting a few fighters from there recently. We'll tell you about Metal Mulumba first. 9-2, 4 knockouts, 5 submissions. So he's finished everyone. He's been submitted once. He owes his rounds. He's won 3 straight, 9 of 10. He's regional champ. He's fight at 155. Rahiki, 6-0, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. So he owes his rounds as well. He's got multiple regional championships on his. Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. He's an inch taller than Mulumba, 5 years younger. And that is all I got
so
for
I'm
him.
going to tell you Rahiki comes in here as a big favorite. How big? 250, maybe 275. Could even get a little bit higher. I'm going to pick him here, but I am going to tell you, if it's that high, stay off of it. I'd probably play Rahiki into the mid to high ones. My big concern here for Rahiki is just like, I don't know that his takedown defense is going to stop Mulumba if Mulumba keeps shooting for it. Mulumba's kind of got like a nice inside trip. He's shown really good top control. He drops ground and pound. Rahiki, I've kind of seen like maybe not look so great in the clinch, maybe not look so great on the bottom. And while I'm picking him mostly just because I think Mulumba will just throw with him here. It's Contender Series. You tend to see people grapple far less than they ought to. Mulumba also, you can see, kind of gets drawn into firefights sometimes. And he's just not nearly as sharp as Rahiki is on the feet. Rahiki is much more technical, much more sharp, definitely lankier. Is a guy who pumps his jab, is straight to the target with his strikes, whereas Mulumba is like big, wide hooks, kind of leaning forward in ways that he probably shouldn't. Just like a little bit sloppier on the feet, prefers a brawl, and kind of gets drawn into like, okay, you tag me, I got to get you back. And I'm worried that he'll do so much of that he'll forget that like he might have a grappling advantage here. And plus, as I said before, Contender Series is just not a place where you want to spend a bunch of time grappling, and nobody seems to be doing it this season. So I'm going to take Marwan Rahiki. Yep. I'm going to tell you to caution yourself on the line here because I don't think he's as big of a favorite as he'll probably be posted on, but I do think he's going to win this fight.
All right, lock it in. Before we get to our last 2 fights of the season on Contender Series, let me tell you about Underdog. Underdog is a great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. It's available for a ton of sports. Gumby has a
sure. I'll take Javante Williams higher than on half a touchdown. Rushing or receiving doesn't matter. Playing the Panthers. Panthers not all that great on defense. And Javante's been running wild in the first few weeks. So give me Javante Williams higher than half a touchdown.
All right. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code MMASGPN. And Rhythm, RITHMM. Rhythm is crushing it in college football and NFL with picks and props. They went 8-2 on passing props in week 5, and 5-0 on Dylan Gabriel debut props. I know he plays for the Browns. Almost to the Rams. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Gumby.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys laying 3.5, playing the aforementioned Panthers. I don't think the Panthers are good. Cowboys kind of got it going with their defense last week. Got to the quarterback a little bit against the Jets. I expect them to do more of that this week.
All right. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. So download Rhythm, RITHMM, and use promo code SGPN25. All right. Next, Juan Díaz from Peru versus Juan Kwon from
This is our basketball fight. Do you know why?
Okay.
Because they're going to have a little one-on-one.
Oh, my God. That's horrible. You came up with that? Is that yours? Fantastic, Gumby. So great. They're fighting at bantamweight. Gumby's a funny guy, isn't he, everybody? There's our title. It was going to be Mexicoolest, but I think
it's got to be one-on-one.
Let's tell you about the first. Kwon is a pretty boy. 14-5, 12 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. 3-1 over his last 4, 6-2 over his last 8. TKO loss in his last bout. 9-5 and 1 championship. So he has fought at the highest level of all time. He's fought at 145 and 155, 2014 Pro MMA debut, an inch taller than Díaz. Pegajoso is Díaz's nickname. Clingy. That
it means sticky.
14-1-1.
Sticky.
Sticky, clingy. Yeah. Yep. 14-1-1, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions. He has never been finished in a fight. He's won 7 straight. He's last lost a fight October 2021. He's regional champ. 1-1 is pro grappler. 3 years younger than Kwon.
So I expect Díaz to be the favorite here. But then again, Kwon is like had a pretty long run in ONE FC, and he beat Shako Sato, right? And he fought Andrade a couple of times. Granted, he lost both those fights with Andrade. So like maybe like only like negative 145 or something like that. And if that's true, I really like the price on Díaz. I'm gonna take him in this fight. I think the big reason for me is so he's really good at picking opponents apart. I think maybe his largest flaw is that he's like not as aggressive as he ought to be. But I think Kwon probably drags that out of him because Kwon can kind of like Kwon's like a fighter who like runs towards you and tries to like close the distance, but then like the biggest problem with him closing the distance is that like then he stops before he throws. So he like closes the distance and maybe tries to like draw out a strike and then like maybe tries to strike afterwards. And I think that's a problem against Díaz because I think like that's going to make Díaz be more aggressive like he should be anyway. And in all of that, like I don't think he's going to land as much because Díaz is kind of crafty. Now, I would like to see Díaz be a touch better on defense. But between the fact that I think he is so sharp with the hands, I think Kwon's going to let him be first. I also think Kwon's chin is questionable, and Díaz has probably got a jiu-jitsu advantage. Again, like with our last fight, we said, I don't know how much we want to talk about the jiu-jitsu advantage here, so many people not leaning into it. But like we've sort of seen Kwon suffer with that a little bit, and Díaz is he's sharp when it makes it to the mat. He doesn't always go there first, but he is real sharp when he makes it to the mat. So I'm going to lean on Díaz here. I'm going to say, again, probably in the low 100s, hoping that ONE FC experience kind of drags this down.
Oh, it should.
You can't get much
org in the world than ONE FC.
And it's just like, and it's a basketball thing too. So maybe, we get some half numbers there, like in basketball.
You're really pushing the
basketball. It's
really
funny. I thought of it and laughed to myself.
It's really funny. Main event, light heavyweights. What a shock. We got light heavyweights. Freddy Vidal, he is from the United States. Levi Rodrigues from Brazil, because I said Rodrigues. That's the giveaway. Rodrigues is Baby Monster. That's a good nickname. Maybe that'll be my new nickname. 5-0 with 5 knockouts, 3-0 in LFA. Used to fight at heavyweight. Now he's a baby monster. He was a monster then. 2 years younger than Vidal. Vidal is the Barbarian. There, once again, nicknames match up. The Barbarian versus Baby Monster. Very good. He is Vidal 4-0, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He has fought on Contender Series before and won.
Earlier this year.
Though. Won 3 straight fights. Right. Get another shot. 3 straight fights via finish. He's won 3 straight via finish. He's missed weight in his last fight, hence no contract. 2 inches taller than.
Yeah, not only missed weight in that fight, but like it was the sloppiest fight I think on Contender Series this year. It was like really ugly. And I know it was on short notice. I know he only had like 3 days. I know he didn't make weight, so he's probably tired that way. But like, I just don't think he's ready for this level yet. And that's like, with that being said, I think he might be one day, but he's only 4-0. It's clear that he's got some like issues with his striking that aren't real sharp yet. His jiu-jitsu was good in his last fight, but like his positional jiu-jitsu and his wrestling wasn't great. And for those reasons, I'm going to take Levi Rodrigues. I personally have had some issues with him as well, but like not as many issues as Vidal. He can absolutely crack. His last win came by a real vicious knockout. When he is on top controlling a fighter, he's got pretty good top control, which sort of is what I needed to like give me the faith that Freddy Vidal won't pull off the same crap he did last time. He does have a little bit of weakness, I would say, in his defensive striking, particularly like somebody threw a whole bunch of leg kicks at him. I think he'd just eat them all because he's kind of heavy on his feet. But, Vidal, as I just mentioned, it's like he looks like a lot of Serra-Longo fighters when they first start. Like he's clearly got a good jiu-jitsu base and like came from that background. I mean, I even think he's a high school wrestling coach, if I'm remembering from the last Contender Series fight correctly. But it's like the striking comes around when it comes around, it's really rote to start. It's like really, you can predict the types of combinations he's going to throw. You can predict the strike he's going to throw and the moment he's going to strike it. Even if you're you're not like super familiar with it. You're just like, he gets in a rhythm and you can be like, oh, here's this again. Here's this again. And I think against Levi Rodrigues, that's a problem because I think he just gets smacked with a mean hook on the return. And if not, like, you know, he's got to make this dirty. He's got to tire him out. He's got to work in the jiu-jitsu. And, you know, he's fighting a Brazilian who's pretty damn good at jiu-jitsu himself. So I'm going to take Levi Rodrigues. I do think we'll probably see Freddy Vidal down the road sometime. But I do just think he needs like half a dozen more fights in like somewhere like CFFC or LFA.
What's the number you were hoping for, Baby
I think it
Monster?
might be close to a pick 'em if I'm being honest. Because like Freddy Vidal's probably got a little hype behind him, being that he was on Contender Series and he won. He's also a Sarah Longo guy. That helps. He's undefeated. That helps. And he's up against a guy with like the same level of experience as him. So I think if you watch the film, you see that Rodrigues should probably be the favorite. But like, you know, he's got some things working in his favor. I could see a pick 'em here.
All right. Excellent. Let's recap. He's got Rodrigues. He's got Díaz. He has got Rahiki. He has got Oliveira. He's got Leka. He has got Party Time, Schultz. And you're set. Contender Series. Come bid it farewell with us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can hit us up in the comment section of YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for commenting and subscribing, watching our videos, liking it, all that good stuff. We are on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer, at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram as well. Hop in my Substack, read all my MMA writing, and enter my UFC pick'em contest at moneymma.substack.com. Check out Gumby's Top Turtle podcast. Tell the people who they're going to hear from.
Eduardo Pena and Elias De La Rosa, who is fighting tomorrow at CFFC.
So check it out. Top Turtle, and of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Gumby go beat you.
I'm dating Gumby Vreeland. He's Party Time, Jeff Fox. And we will see you on Sunday.